What is up, everybody? Welcome to the NerdyMark channel. I'm Sid, the NerdyMark, and today I have my very first review on this channel, and it is for the Black Panther. Let's talk about it. Black Panther is directed by Ryan Coogler, and it stars Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan, and it tells the story of T'Challa, who is about to take his rightful place in the throne of Wakanda and become its new king after T'Chaka passes away in Captain America Civil War, but of course is challenged by an old-time rival known as Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan. Now, I'll be honest with you, I actually thought Black Panther was literally the best thing about Captain America Civil War. As far as Captain America Civil War goes, I'll be honest with you, I saw it the first time and I enjoyed it, and then after that, I saw it again and I wasn't nearly as impressed. Bite me, Marvel fans. Overall, I thought the movie was really good. I actually did enjoy it quite a bit. I'll be honest with you, it felt like a typical Marvel film. It felt like, everything you need in a Marvel to make a Marvel movie is in the movie. But it was enjoyable. I really did enjoy it, and I did have some pros and I have some cons. And so here we go. Let's talk about them. So first thing I do want to talk about is the nation of Wakanda. Now, Wakanda is a very highly advanced nation, highly rich in resources, highly technologically advanced, has like a huge infrastructure, has its own culture, has its own politics, has its own economy. But the thing is, Wakanda, nobody knows about Wakanda. Wakanda is a nation that actually hides in plain sight. And as a matter of fact, I love the fact that in the beginning scene of the movie, they actually talk about how this technologically advanced nation came about. And I'm not going to get into that right now. I like the fact that they gave a backstory for Wakanda. That was a good thing. And I'll get in more detail about it in my spoiler-filled review, which I will be putting out soon, so look out for that. Also, I've just fell in love with that place. I just love Wakanda as just a place, and I love the fact that it also gave a lot of importance to that environment. I wish they did that in a lot of other movies. Not just superhero movies, just movies in general. If there's a nation that we haven't heard of, yeah, let's learn about it. I want to know more about it. That's one of the things that I feel that this movie does right. It looks great. It's a fantastic looking place. What do you want me to say? I want to go there on vacation. Sometime. If again, see what I'm saying? They've actually made me feel like Wakanda is important. They actually made me feel like, that I should care about Wakanda. So great job on the director's side for keeping that importance for Wakanda. Now let's talk about some of the performances. I really enjoyed a lot of the performances. Particularly, I loved the contrast between Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan's performances. Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa / Black Panther is, of course, a lot more reserved, a little bit more kind of, I wouldn't say laid back, but a lot more reserved, a lot more calm, a lot more cool and collected. And he comes off as a king. He's very regal, very very majestic in his performance. He pulls off that performance so well. In contrast, we have Michael B. Jordan. I can understand his over the top performance just because of the fact that he was brought up in the hood, basically. His performance actually kind of reminded me of the Usos. The Usos from SmackDown Live. But I really enjoyed it. I also enjoyed Lupita Nyong'o's performance. She, of course, plays T'Challa's love interest in this movie. And if you don't know who Lupita Nyong'o is, you might know her. She played a talking apricot in The Force Awakens, so you might remember her from that. But overall, like I said, I did enjoy most of the performances. I'll get into one performance that I didn't like when I talk about the cons. As far as all the performances go, I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up. Let's just talk about the actual story itself, the movie itself. The movie itself is a very contained and intriguing movie. I'm just like the fact that they don't focus on building up to a sequel to Black Panther or, building up to Avengers Infinity War. You don't need to, put hints towards Avengers Infinity War in there. That's what I loved about this movie, is the fact that it's a very contained movie, and it also keeps my interest. As far as flaws go in this movie, as is tradition with Marvel films, there's like some humor sprinkled about. And like in the first half of the movie, the humor's fine. It's like it's there. It's sprinkled throughout here and there. I get a chuckle or two. But but in the second half of the film, particularly one character, humor isn't really a consistent thing with him. He just becomes a little bit more humorous in the second half of the movie. But whereas in the first half, he's a lot more serious. Especially with that, the humor can kind of kill the momentum a little bit. Like there'll be something like there was a scene in this movie where they're like talking about something really serious, and then that aforementioned character just starts to like says something funny. And comedy is good, but some places the comedy felt more intrusive than intriguing. So another thing that I did want to mention is the fact that they say T'Challa is the king. The only time I really see it is like that there's only like a couple of sequences where I see him meeting with like a couple of advisors, but that's about it. But you know what? But there's a lot more to a king. A king needs to interact with his subjects. He needs to be loved by the people. In this movie, he's only loved by his mother, who was the queen. The people of Wakanda, he has no interaction with the people of Wakanda. I wish there was a little bit more of that. I wish they showed people actually showing their support for T'Challa as king. I wish there was something more like that, but instead it feels like T'Challa is in his own bubble and the citizens are kind of in their own bubble. And I'm sure he does care, but it just doesn't show. But overall, I did enjoy the movie. Again, it is your typical Marvel film. It has your great action sequences, great CGI, good performances, your typical Marvel humor. It is a good movie. I do recommend you going to the theater and watching it. But as far as a rating goes, I am going to rate Black Panther an 8 out of 10. I think that's a pretty good rating for my first review. So that's always good. But anyway, let me know what you guys thought about Black Panther in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on social media. And yeah, that's about it. Well, until next time, this is Sid, the NerdyMark, signing off. You guys take care. Bye-bye.